Hey guys, Pete Murray here and welcome to another Byron Sessions. Today, I've been looking forward to this chat. We have Aussie music royalty. I know you'll be embarrassed if I say
I am already.
She is already.
Stop it.
But she is. It's Kasey Chambers, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm so happy to chat with you.
I know.
It's a little different than when we normally chat because we've got these cameras in our face.
I know. Well, you know
We'll
what?
forget
But we
they're
still
there.
talk rubbish and we're going to talk rubbish today too. But there's something that really intrigues me as I've started to look into your life more because you're my mate. I don't Google you.
It's
to
funny,
find this
isn't
information.
it? I know. I'm like that because I reckon if this was the other way around and I had to interview you, it would be, I don't know that I know heaps about the stuff that Google would tell me.
So, look, checking it out, and I was
What
just
does
like,
Google say about me?
you're actually pretty good. Pretty good.
See,
Is
I've
that a
been
great
telling you
introduction or
this.
what?
I've been telling him this for so long, and he's just been ignoring me.
Now we're going to go. You've won lots of awards. We're going to talk about awards later, but not right now. And we've had conversations about awards before. You've won heaps. And
Do we want to start listing them, or is that
not yet.
where you want to go?
Just give me a second because I know where this is going to go. But you are the biggest thing for me is when you got inducted into the Hall of Fame. How did that make you feel? That's pretty impressive, and you're not even 25 yet. That's amazing.
I know. How about that?
I know, incredible.
It was huge actually. I was really shocked when they said they were inducting me into the ARIA Hall of Fame, and I was the youngest female ever to be inducted in. And
why were you shocked about that?
I was.
What made you feel? Did you feel like that you shouldn't be there because you were too young?
No. It wasn't. It wasn't really about my age. I guess it was just. I didn't really know if I had really done enough to be able to be acknowledged for that. But I think sometimes, in all honesty, though, I do forget what I have done for country music. So. Yeah. Because I'm just in it and I just do it and I do it anyway, even if people didn't like it. But then when they sent the thing through, because obviously you find out beforehand with that award.
Well, they're not going to spring it on you on the night.
Spring it on me.
By the way.
Thank God,
Kasey Chambers, you are in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Thanks. I'd like to thank Marsh.
That would have been a little nerve-wracking.
Well,
it was nerve-wracking anyway.
I was about to say, you'd be nervous because, I would get nervous about...
100% the most nervous I've ever been in my entire
And I can't remember
life.
whether you mentioned me in your speech. It would
No,
have been,
of course I did.
You did,
of
somewhere.
Course I did. I opened with that.
Yes.
They might have cut that
That's
from
what
the
they did. They had to
televised
shorten
version.
it because it was a very long thank you to
But
Pete
that
Murray.
wasn't my call.
Yeah. It's okay.
Obviously.
So tell me about So the nerves, you were nervous about getting... that's a massive, massive honour.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, I think that's it. Like, that's probably what... made me feel so weird about it is this is literally the biggest thing that you can get given in Australia.
Yeah.
And
you could retire now.
No,
that's it. It's all over.
It didn't come with any cash.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was a bit disappointed about that.
That's
yeah.
pretty. That's pretty
waiting.
sad. Yeah. Okay. Radio.
No, it just was weird, I guess, because when I first started in music, I didn't start out like this was all I ever wanted to do, and one day I want to get famous, or one day I want to be
that's one of my
successful,
questions for you. Sorry to cut you off, but I thought growing up in a musical family, when you were young, your mum and dad playing, you had the band, the Dead Ringer band. How old were you when you got on stage first time with them?
About 9 when I first got on stage.
So
but
young.
Even before that, I feel like I was a real performer. I just didn't care about an audience. Right. So I would perform for my parents. We grew up in such a really remote area. Half of my childhood was in a little fishing village called South End with about 200 people. The other half of my childhood was living in the Fall Drive with my mum and dad. My dad had this little handmade caravan. He made this little caravan on the back.
Yep.
We'd tow that around on the Nullarbor Plain. So we would travel around.
Amazing. And
we would sit around a campfire and we would perform like that, right? No audience, no stage, nothing like that. But even then...
Just family.
Just family. And we would sit around, honestly,
writing
really similar to this.
Original songs or covers or both?
Mostly covers. My dad would teach us like old gospel songs or Johnny Cash songs, Hank Williams, that sort of thing, a bit of Slim Dusty, And we would sit around and play around the campfire. And that's actually where I feel like my musical grounding is, like where I learnt to sing. But then sometimes my brother and I would put on little plays for my parents and we'd charge them like 20 cents to come to the... So
That's
I was
great.
hustling already. So I actually
Maybe you need to
feel
be
like...
a promoter. Maybe in the wrong...
I know. Do you need a manager? Do you?
Let's talk about that later.
Okay, great. No, I do. So I actually think even before I knew what an audience was, I loved to perform. But I didn't grow up knowing what, like I had no idea what an aria was. I didn't know what a golden guitar was. I had no idea.
I still have no idea what an aria is. We'll get to that
Right,
later.
I'll give you one.
No,
okay,
thank you,
if
thank you.
that's what you're
Thank you.
driving at.
Keep going.
All
I
right.
love this story. Keep going. I want to hear more about it. Because the question I have is, to me, it felt like you were born into this musical family.
Sorry, I've got this gross band-aid on my finger. So I just need to apologise for that right now.
Is it hard to play?
We'll see. It'll be fine. I'm a bad guitar player anyway. It won't sound any different than normal.
It doesn't matter. I
promise.
think, but you got your own vibe going.
Yeah,
But-
my
but
band-aid vibe.
The question I had, and for me, like I said, you grew up in this musical family, so you were kind of born into music. Was there ever a time that you went, I want to do something else? Because you just mentioned before that music wasn't something that you weren't really sure that's what you wanted to do, or?
Not really. I mean, I didn't really think I wanted to do anything else. I actually thought maybe I would be forced to do something else eventually
Yep.
because I didn't know that music was something that I could make a living off. And like I say, even when I was growing up, I wasn't this like ambitious musician that was like, I'm going to do everything I can to get my songs out there and that. It was just something that was a part of my life, like playing music. It was almost like I didn't really know how to do
But
anything
I can understand
else.
that. Like I said, with your mum and dad being musos, and your brother Nash, and you're in a band at 9, playing with them. Like that's. I didn't pick up a guitar until I was 21, 22.
I remember you telling me
So
that years
there was
ago.
no music for me. So your story is so different.
I've used that a lot when I have friends sometimes who are like a bit older and go, oh, I wish I'd played guitar when I was younger, but it's too late now. And I'm like, no. Pete
I know
Murray,
this old friend of mine.
Yeah, this old guy.
And it's true.
I love that
but
story
it's true
though.
because I was like 22. So your story is so different to me. You just grew up in music. I discovered it and then kind of was trying to work out, okay, how do I do this? It's just kind of luck for me too. I believe in fate. Fate
100%.
kind of points you in the right direction. You kind of find your own way if you're lucky to get on that track. But your story is really great because you've had that experience of just the nullarbor playing, sitting around campfires there.
Yeah.
Who gets to do that? Not too many people get to do that.
And it's still one of my favourite things to do. My eldest son just moved to Perth. A couple of years ago, moved to Perth. And we live on the East Coast, on the Central Coast. And now we do that trip a lot with our caravan and we go over to Perth and drive across the Nullarbor, take the kids. And so I still now love sitting around a campfire on the Nullarbor. We'll light a campfire, we'll sit around, we'll get the guitars out. Now my kids play just like I did when I was growing up, and my dad would bring out the guitar and we would all sit around a campfire.
And how good is it too when your kids start getting into music? You know, my eldest son Charlie now is playing with me and stuff.
He's beautiful, like seeing him get up with you. And I know when we shared that tour, and you had your son coming and playing, and I had my kids coming and getting up on the festival.
Yeah.
Man, they were beautiful. Aren't we so lucky?
I know, it's great. I love it, when they come and do that with you. And I think that's,
so
you feel so proud that that's what they love doing.
I don't even care if they do music anyway. Like if they don't choose that
Same
for a job,
here,
it's not a big deal to me at all. It's just that they have that thing where music is a part of them, and you probably appreciate that even more because it wasn't for you as a kid growing up, but now you get to give that to your
that's
son,
right, yeah.
and
Charlie's
that's really beautiful.
Since he was a little kid, he's been coming to shows, and I remember this one time I played a show at Shepherd's Bush Empire in London.
Wow.
You probably played there?
Yeah.
And
amazing.
Finished the gig, and the crowd was like going nuts, and they just lifted, and it got even louder. And went, these guys really love me. This is awesome, Next one, I felt these little arms around my leg, and it was Charlie that came out. So I was like, oh, that's what you know, and they loved it. So even doesn't matter what age they are, the people love you playing with your kids.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So
it is beautiful. I feel lucky too because my dad plays guitar in my band.
I know he does. Yeah, Bill.
Still, and
he's an amazing player too.
He is a great
He's
player,
great.
isn't he?
He's fantastic.
Don't tell him.
I won't.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
He'll want to start.
He'll want more money.
Yeah, or some money.
Some money.
Like,
I like the way you work.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a great manager for me.
Yeah, I know.
Don't pay the band.
Let's talk about that.
I like that.
It's beautiful though when my dad is on stage. Sometimes we have these moments where, the kids will come on stage, and they'll be singing here, and my dad will be singing here, and we'll have 3 generations on stage at the one time, and I try so hard not to take it for granted because it is quite normal for me to do that, but always at some point in the song, it's often when we sing the captain too. Cause
a beautiful song, I know. You do that towards the end of your set. Yeah, by the way, out of all the Australian artists, you have played the most shows with me. We've been doing shows for 20 odd years, you know that?
Yeah.
You'd probably, maybe there's some other guys you played with before, but I think not as many times. There's no other artist that I remember playing so many festivals and shows with.
Right when you, those real first shows, and I remember seeing, and you know, I had to go on before you. And,
that's a bit tough.
Yeah, it's a bit tough.
Especially I got some attitude from you back in the early days.
Yeah, didn't you?
Lots of attitude with this one.
Lots, yeah.
Yeah. So we have, but for 22 years or something, there's been, I just know we're on so many festivals, and in a lot of cases you are playing right before me, so I get to see your band all the time. It's incredible. The last tour that we did, Red Hot Summer, and you played, because the band's amazing. We talked about Bill. He's a great guitarist, but the harmonies that everyone sings in your band, it's beautiful. You did an Eminem cover. What was the cover?
Oh yeah, Lose Yourself.
Lose Yourself.
I put that on my new album actually, because that has become such a big part of my life, that song, and I've always loved it. It's the one time that my kids actually come and watch me play is when I do that song. But it's a wicked cover. I love that song so much, and it took me a long time, but I really wanted to work out a version that really tributed the song, but also kind of made the song mine as well, because obviously genre-wise, it's about as far away from each other as you can possibly get. But I wanted to bridge that gap, and I think that there's a way that you can bridge a gap between artists from all over the world and that seem like they might be, you know, worlds apart. But I don't know. I think if you dig deep enough, we're all connected in some way. Eminem just doesn't know yet that he's connected to me, but he'll figure it out.
He'll find out.
Eventually. You'll tell him, right?
I'll tell him.
Next time you have him over.
Let's call him in a sec after this and let him know. So now's the opportunity to talk about awards. Okay, so awards, let me just see if I've got this right. You have had 5 #1 albums. Is that correct? You don't know? Okay, right.
But yeah, that's good. That sounds good, so let's go with that.
14 arias. That's almost as many nominations that I've had. And arias, 10 APRA awards. Yeah. And only 9 country awards, which is pretty disappointing, really.
No,
9.
So I don't know about the country ones. I know
that's got to be wrong.
I've had 24 Golden Guitar.
Well, there you go. That information's wrong.
I know that's fine. It's that you didn't mention that.
You know what? I really
used
to like you a lot. Used to really like you a lot.
Do you know what? I know we're ripping on each other and stuff, but when you actually say that, that freaks me out a bit, because obviously I don't sit around at home thinking about how many of them I've won. But when you list them like that, and I think this is what I mean with when we were talking about the ARIA Hall of Fame, of why that just shocked me so much, is I didn't grow up thinking that any of these things were possible. So when you actually say it now, it's so weird to me.
I know.
This chick from the Nullarbor who used to sit around and play country songs with her dad has, that. It's weird.
So
super weird.
What does it say here? Let me find this.
I thought you were just checking Instagram.
No. This is how I get all my information when I do my interviews. I'm so professional about it. So, but it says here, now I won't be able to find it, will I? It talks a lot about how good you are and how many awards that you've got. If I skip to my Wikipedia, it says Pete Murray, he's an okay singer-songwriter. He's had 17 nominations. There's 17 ARIA nominations.
Oh.
Has not ever won one. This makes him effectively the biggest loser in the history of the ARIAs. That's on Wikipedia. So, I mean,
And
by the time
this
people
is
see this,
why-
they'll check it out and it'll be updated. They won't see
This
that.
is why I'm happy to hang out with you so often, you know, because you just make me feel like a
Good
winner.
about yourself.
I feel
I
so
know.
good about myself
I do
when
that
I'm
so
around
good.
you,
I know.
Pete. I
Thank you.
really do.
Thank you.
You can take that however you want.
I know.
I
So-
feel like this whole thing, like you put this thing together, didn't you? So that I would give you some of my
I want to get some
own.
awards. Yeah, can I get them?
Right.
Actually, well, let's look at this. So, okay.
You can have my Band-Aid.
I
Do you
just
want
think-
my Band-Aid? I'll give you that.
No, you can keep that. That's okay. But some questions for you on how do I win an ARIA? Okay, so maybe you can answer this for me. Am I not pretty enough?
The best segue ever. The best
Is
I've
my heart
ever
too broken?
experienced. Oh my God.
Do I
love
cry
it.
too much? Am I too outspoken? Is that the best intro for this song or what?
That's perfect.
So this leads me into...
Just so you know,
What?
it's interesting that you picked that one because that was nominated for Single of the Year at the ARIAs. And it lost.
Who won?
I think Kylie? Maybe?
Kylie.
Maybe Kylie. I've lost a fair few
I
to
should have been
Kylie,
interviewing her then.
actually. Yeah.
So look, but...
She wouldn't have given you her crusty old Band-Aid.
I know. So it brings me into this song. So this is the first song that I heard about you, and probably most people who weren't country
Yeah.
Followers would have heard this
Yeah,
because
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
it was an incredible song to come across to the pop world. I guess still don't see it as pop, but you know it's considered popular.
Yeah.
And it
for,
came-
for me, I
and it-
guess it is too.
It's the song that crossed you over,
Yeah.
and you became a massive artist. And off that, just for that song, just crossing over. So that's why I thought let's sing that one today.
Yeah.
And
Are you going to sing it with me?
I'm going to try to do
Sing
my
it with
best.
me.
I'm going to try and do my best.
Yeah. Well, I need you to play too because
So-
the Band-Aid thing might.
Yeah, that's all right. So just before we sing the song, I just want to ask you, when you wrote this one, you know, sometimes you know you've got a hit. When you wrote this song, what did you feel?
I knew it was special.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a hit, you know, at all. I didn't really ever think about that very much. I didn't really think that was possible either for me.
Right.
So that has never really been on my radar, still not on my
Probably-
radar, but I definitely knew there was something special about
Yeah.
this song because it was very vulnerable when I wrote it because I honestly wrote this song about feeling so out of place in the music industry.
Really?
That I just felt like I didn't look like the other
Kind
girls.
of like the way I feel.
Yeah. And maybe that's why you're gravitating towards
I think
this song
so.
right
I
now.
know. This is
Yeah.
it's a beautiful song. It's got a fantastic chorus. The lyrics are really so amazing on there, and people relate to it. You know, that's because the lyrical content in there is just so relatable. And you've just hit the nail on the head with this. Nash recorded this for you, didn't he?
Yeah, my brother.
Beautiful sounds on this. It's really good. And your voice, this is a young Kasey. You can hear that, you know, as you get older, your voice changes a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got this beautiful huskiness, which you still have anyway, but I can tell it's a young Kasey, and it's so amazing to listen to. When I started,
that was actual nodules on my vocal cords.
Really?
The huskiness
No
you're
way.
talking about, which I actually love too. I love the sound of it.
Yeah, get 'em
but
back.
It ended
Get 'em back.
I used to be a smoker too. I'm not anymore. So the voice is a little bit cleaner, but now it's more harsh and piercing, you know, and probably more annoying.
it's still you. It's still amazing. And
Still me.
so this is a great song. It's like this is the first song that I was introduced to you by, and probably most people in Australia that weren't country followers were. So let's do this now.
Can I just tell you?
Yeah.
We're gonna sing this together, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna can you take like the? Do you know the verse? Like the
yes,
first verse?
I know the chorus and the verses. I'm
Great.
iffy. If I forget it, just
I'll help you.
help me.
I have never
Yeah.
ever sung this with a guy.
Really?
Ever as a duet. No, never.
Well, there we go.
I love this. I'm so excited. That's really cool. And what's really ironic is that I'm singing Not Pretty Enough with the prettiest guy that I know. So
Thank you.
I'm just
so nice.
I'm so happy about this. This is beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All
Thank
right.
you. Let's try and have a crack
We'll
at getting
see
through
how
this
it
from
goes.
start to finish
Yeah,
without
we'll be
failure.
right.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me?
I live, I breathe, I try to rain on me. I sleep, I wait, I try hard not to breathe. I crave, I love, I waited long enough. I try as hard as I can.
Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me?
You do the second.
I laugh, I feel, I make believe it's real. I fall, I freeze, I pray down on my knees. I hope, I stand, I take it like a man. I try as hard as I can. Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me? Why do you see? Why do you see? Why do you see right through me?
So beautiful. Thank you.
That's so beautiful. I love our version.
That was great.
That's so
If that
good.
doesn't win an